my god, it's hot. It's hot. Hello there. Welcome to Anatomy. Welcome back to Proko. Welcome back to the Crystal Library, where I hopefully make your anatomy journey a little bit easier, but also it's hot. It's hot over here in Cali. I won't keep you here long, but today might actually be a longer stream, but really quick, just to give you the lowdown. Welcome. I'm Kiana. I'm an anime dork. I love Deltarune, and I love anatomy. And I've already taken Proko's course, and I'm taking the last 5 years to hopefully teach you it now as I review it. So we're going through the whole entire body again, because I forgot a lot of stuff. And hopefully this will make your journey a little bit easier, because going through the human body by yourself is hard. So lots of notes on the side, lots of 3D models, and hopefully every single week we get to crack open the big old 3D software and look at the muscles that we're talking about and get a deeper look. So if you are trying to learn anatomy, don't do it by yourself. Get in here. So anyway, I won't keep you long, but it's warm today. It's making me sweat a little bit. I got a nice spicy energy. It's gonna be good. So let's jump right in. We start with the lesson that we're dealing with today, of course. Obliques! My personal favorite. I'm so excited because the obliques, the twisty muscles, they give you the most dynamic poses, the most exciting poses to draw. Anything involving obliques is fun. So, I won't keep you here long. Don't mind the 000 in the corner. I'll tell you about that later. For now, enjoy Proko, and I'll see you in a second.
Welcome back to Wheel of Proko. Skelly, it's your turn. There's only one letter left.
Give me a kiss!
We all know how to spell obliques, right? With a C. Clearly.
Welcome to Proko. I'm Stan Prokopenko. Last time, we introduced the 4 muscle layers of the abdominal wall. We already learned about the vertical rectus abdominis, and we learned about the horizontal transversus abdominis. Well, the premium students learned about it. Now let's learn about the diagonal external oblique. Beginners often get overwhelmed by the interlocking digits of the serratus and oblique. They draw a bunch of out-of-control stripes across the side of the figure. That ends today. Let's be disciplined boys and girls and start by learning the anatomical basics. Then we can have fun and learn how to draw the forms. Anatomical basics. The name external oblique refers to the muscle's position, being on the outside, contrary to the internal oblique, which is on the inside. And it refers to the diagonal angle of the muscle fibers. External means outside, oblique means diagonal. The external oblique is a sheet muscle, which means it's large and thin, and its muscle fibers are parallel. It sits on the sides of our torso and connects the rib cage to the pelvis. When flexed, the digitation of the oblique is revealed, and you see tube-like striations at 45-degree angles on the upper half. This upper half is called the thoracic portion, and the lower half is called the flank portion. It originates off the bottom 8 ribs and inserts onto the anterior 2/3 of the iliac crest, xiphoid, the linea alba, and pubis. The muscle fibers don't reach all the way to the linea alba. They attach to the tendon, called the abdominal aponeurosis, at the edge of the linea semilunaris. This large aponeurosis covers the entire rectus abdominis muscle. Motion.
Ooh, I can't wait.
The function of the oblique is to bend the spine laterally and to twist it.
Gold.
When both sides work together, they flex the torso forward, which is incidentally the exact sequence you use when you warm up, attempt to dance, and then pick up your pride off the floor.
I can vouch for this.
Sometimes we're our own worst enemies, much like how the external oblique is its own antagonist.
I see what you
When one side flexes, the other side stretches, and vice versa. When the oblique is flexed, you'll see digitation on the thoracic portion. The flank portion stays smooth, except maybe a hint of the digitation along the medial edge. The motion that will flex the obliques most is a twisting and bending combo, basically the angle of the muscle fibers. When twisting without any kind of bending, there's actually little effect on the oblique. The lumbar vertebrae are very limited in their twisting range of motion. You'll just see a subtle twisting of the muscle. When bending forward, the compression is in the abs, as we learned last time. When bending backward, even though it's a very limited motion, the skin quickly folds. When you bend side to side, a prominent fold is created at your waist. If the bend is really extreme, it might be a double fold. Use the concept of squash and stretch. When you're drawing one compressed side, exaggerate how the flesh is bunched up, and really stretch the other side. You might even show the bony iliac crest and ribcage on the stretched side to show how tight the skin and muscle are being pulled. Robo bean and ANATO bean.
That's what we're doing today.
Remember the bean and robo bean from the figure drawing course? Well, a lot of the motion we drew for the pinching, stretching, and twisting was an indication of what's happening to the obliques. The bean was basically two ovals connected with skin, like two balls in a sock. But I'm more interested in reviewing the robo bean because it has hard corners that indicate two important skeletal landmarks: the 10th rib of the rib cage and the aces of the pelvis. These are so useful for drawing the obliques in motion. Now, what about the bucket and the geometric rib cage that we learned about earlier in this course? Let's call these the ANATO bean. The concept and purpose are similar to the robo bean, but the robo bean is simpler. We can say that the robo bean is beginner and these are advanced. This edge of the bottom box on the robo bean follows the angle of the oblique. It's the angle you'll see on the surface. The bucket is a little tougher and can be counterintuitive. It follows the angle of the front half of the iliac crest and then keeps going. The bucket is more anatomically accurate if you have a handle on perspective.
Yes.
If you're struggling with the construction of the bucket, the robo bean can be a good option for you. If perspective is new, try the robo bean. If you're up for the challenge, try the bucket. Assignment.
Yay! Homework.
So go ahead and try it. Use the model photos from proko.com/poses and draw the pelvis and ribcage. You can use the beginner or advanced version. Then add the oblique with the correct stretching, pinching, or twisting. Think about the motion and how the motion deforms the shape of the muscle. So we have a premium section for students that want to.
And it's outdated and expired. Anyway. Anyway, real quick. Music. Okay. Alrighty. Welcome officially. Alright, Evo! If you're still here, hey, what's up? If you gotta go, that's okay. If you gotta bounce, not a problem. Appreciate you for popping in. I was thinking about you. Yes. So, real quick, I didn't stream last weekend. You can't hear me? Oh no! Is it because I have a fan on? It's warm. I don't really want to turn it off. It's hot today. But hi! Hopefully it's a little bit better if I move my mic closer, perhaps. How's this? Tell me now, troubleshoot-wise, because I don't know. But yeah, we didn't stream last week because I had life and things going on. Life be life, and you know how it is. But, I'll say this. I am so... Oh, just a little quiet? Okay, well... I refuse to turn off my fan because I will die. But I'll just talk closer to the microphone ASMR style. How's that? No, I'm kidding. I won't do that the whole stream. I'll just be a creeper. Anyway, So, lo and behold, I'm going to say right now, this is my favorite lesson. I'm just going to say, straight out the gate. Obliques! I can't wait! I can't wait! So, again, this is a revisit from a course I've already taken. I spent 5 years on it from basically 2020 to 2025. Thank you. But learning all of this stuff, and I'm basically now your accountability buddy / anatomy partner to get through this stuff because it's hard. So let's do it together. I appreciate you so much, Broseph. But here's the one thing. The caveat to this is the first time I did this, I took as long as I wanted. Now, we're on a timer. So, I thought, first of all, we would start with the bean, because that's the assignment. He asked us to do gesture lessons and stuff. So we normally would do gestures of the pictures that he provided for us. But I thought, let's do a new challenge. Because he didn't really give us pictures. Not really. I have some pictures here, but they're not quite safe. Let's see. There's this guy, which you can see evidence of in this example, which, you know, goals for one day. So let's see. This guy is fine. What else? What else? What else? What else? Can I show you any more? This lady, I think, is fine. Where is she? No, she's not. Nope, that's it. There's this guy as well, but it's the same model. So yeah, basically none of these model pictures I can use. I mean, I can censor them. But the point is, what I wanted to do today, instead of that, again, this is a revisit. So you are more than welcome to go grab all of these photos via Proko's website. I am not sponsored. It's free on his website. I would love to be, of course. Go tell him to sponsor me, because then we can hang out and chill and collab and stuff. But anyway, you are welcome to go do the Proko assignments that are not censored, and have your fun looking at all of the junk. But what I thought we would do for this revisit, which would be, I think, more beneficial and helpful to you guys, because I definitely need practice with this. Body types. Proko gives us like all muscular jocks. And, you know, great if we're looking for the superhero bod. But, you know, most of us are not that. And if we're drawing from life, you're going to find people in between. You're going to have people that are super ripped, super lean, super toned, and then maybe a little thicker on the side. So I thought for this revisit, we're going to do a combination of things. So physique variations. So I found some lovely photos via Pinterest that I thought we could start with. Somebody who's very lovely and plump, somebody who's a little bit more jacked, and then the female variation of that. Wow, goals. So you, again, can take your choice of how you want to approach this, but I'm going to use these reference model pictures, and then on your own, I strongly still suggest go and do a Proko's assignment. This is just a bonus to that. So we're going to do, in order, the bean, the ROBO bean, and then the ANATO bean, which I think I have in this example somewhere. Oh my gosh! Hello! It's a Marietta. I'm gonna just say it. That's my grandma. Hi, Gma. Welcome. Thank you for being here. I didn't know you were able to join. Yay! Awesome. Well, now we have a family in here. Awesome, awesome. But yes, we're gonna be working with the bean, the ROBO bean, and the ANATO bean. Yo, 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 yo. So the bean will basically be just two squishy tennis balls together, very curvy, very gesture focused, more motion based. And where did she go? This lovely lady will be our bean. Simple gesture, just mostly curves. We'll spend like 5 minutes on her. As stunning as she is, I want to keep things moving because otherwise we'll be here all day. Then we'll upgrade to the ROBO bean, which is more specific. It's a little bit harder, but perspective-wise, it gives us a bit more practice, and it's still giving us bony landmarks to work with. So for boxy shapes, this gentleman will be our ROBO bean. Still probably taking 5 minutes on him, but then after we'll take another additional 10 minutes to clean up and add any extra shading or muscle definition if we want to do that, and maybe talk about the stuff that we're looking at on the surface, because we're just looking at this love handle right here, but there's a lot of stuff next to it. And then finally, our hard mode, advanced mode, and my personal challenge will be the ANATO bean of this lovely lady, who is unbelievably ripped and very unrealistic, but gosh, she's gorgeous and stunning. So we're going to do 3 models today, and that'll be streamed. So depending on how fast I get going, we'll probably be here for a little bit longer than usual, but I want to give you guys a thorough lesson. And then going forward, the next time will be Proko inventions, where we're just drawing muscle on top of a skeleton. And then lastly, we'll do tracings, which is kind of backwards, but it helps because then you'll have to know what everything around the obliques is. So anyway, we're getting a full-on, like, we're going to spend 4 weeks on the obliques. Hey, I rhymed. I wasn't even going for that. Hey. So yeah, the heat is already making me spicier than usual, so I apologize if my audio is a little whack today. I can't really turn off my fan, sorry. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. But at the end of the day, if anybody ever has questions for me, please let me know now before I get moving, because if I get moving, I won't answer the questions later. So let's start with this lovely, gorgeous human. She is stunning, fabulous, body positivity and skin positivity all the way. So this goes away now. Let's see. This was another example. We could go through all of these later, but show and tell is less helpful. I think practice works better. And you can also see all of my assignments already available on my Facebook page, that I've already done all this stuff, as well as on the Discord, which you can join via !Discord. I think. Let me double check that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I didn't check before this. It may not. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But if it does, I'm not going to go to Streamlabs and figure that out right now. I just want to see real quick, because sometimes it turns off. Yay! It works! Fantastic. Great. Well, there it is. So, yeah, Discord, as well as Patreon, if you want to support and get some extra stuff to help you out later. Always appreciate it. Alrighty. So without further ado, let's see. Where do I want to put this lovely lady? Let's put her over here. And that way you can still see her. I'm going to shrink her down just a hair. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. That looks good. And then, oh, I can't shrink her anymore? That's as much as we got? Okay, that's fine. And I forget the combination. Power Toys for PC. It is Shift Windows T. No, Control Windows T. Nice. So when I click on other apps, it doesn't go away. Cool. That's a free thing you can have on your PC. It's a free toy. Let me know more if you want to know about that. There's a lot of free shortcuts that I just bop around and do stuff, and if you don't know, you don't know. It's okay. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to make a brand new layer for all of this stuff. Let's call these PR for Proko Revisited new gestures. Cool. Call this old. Old. Like 2021, 22 old. Cool. Alright. And again, we took it as long as we wanted on those gestures, but at the same time, drawing for 5 hours to get a good result, or drawing for 5 minutes for getting a good result, big difference. You can have more fun later after those 5 minutes. So let's get moving. I'm going to set my timer up. I think it's already ready to go. I didn't put a timestamp down, but I'll do that later. Unless there's any questions I can answer off the bat, once I start, I will not be able to stop. So let me know now if you have questions. Otherwise, we're going to get moving and grooving in about 2 to 3-ish minutes. Get your sip of water. Get some ice in your water if you want. Whatever you got to do to get ready, because I am starting, and once I start, I am locked in. I do not stop. So, questions now, and anything else I can go over, let me know. There's a lot of stuff that was not covered in the Proko lesson that is in the premium section that I can vaguely tell you about without giving too much away. But goal is, for at least this gesture, mostly movement. get the beautiful curves, get the beautiful movement of this woman, and then the love handles, of course, accentuate some of that beautiful plus girth on her. And if you can, she's leaning back, she's curving a little bit, she's tilting to the side so the obliques are engaged. Even if there's a little bit more love on them, you can still see all of the girth on her as well as the muscle definition. So let's do that. Okay. But yeah, if you got a bouncy bow, no problem, let me know. This is not a drawing. The lady on the right is not a drawing. But I'm about to draw her. We'll start in a second, Grandma. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Here we go. Okay. Where did my timer go? I had it set up. There it is. Here we go. Let me just make sure my brushes are ready. There we go. There we go. I'm going to start with a nice soft blue. Yeah. Cool. And I'm going to record this time and not forget. Boom, baby. There we go. We're not starting yet. I'm just prepping. Don't worry. Don't panic. Don't freak out. Okay, we're not starting yet. Okay. I'll talk more about ROBO bean and ANATO bean when we get to it, but for now, we're just looking at a bunch of circles. 2 circles together that can form a rib cage and a pelvis, and then all of the beautiful juicy details on the top. So here we go. I'm going to take one more bite of food for good luck, good measure. Get your pens ready if you're joining me, either traditionally or digitally, whatever you're deciding to use for your medium. I hope you're ready. Because the best way to practice is not to just watch me. We got to do it together. I'm your accountability buddy, here to mess up and do it with you live, so we can have all the fun making mistakes and practice later. Charcoal or pencil? I'm using a digital stylus. So, cheating. You know what, though? That's actually a separate matter entirely, but I might be doing a charcoal portrait of somebody soon. Perhaps. But no, we're using a digital pen. It's very fancy and cheating. It lets me do undos as much as I want and no eraser shavings. Oh, it's so nice. Okay. I do want to eventually set up a traditional sketchbook because it would be nice for you to see the top down, and I have better times drawing when it's facing down, and I can't cheat as much, so you know when I'm not being, you know my weaknesses right away. All right, here we go. Starting officially in 3, 2, 1. All right, timers are going. Let's get this gorgeous lady in here. I already see center line, head, chest. There's her belly button. Some more girth around that area. And oblique. Let's see. I want to get this beautiful curve in first. Now I can start to decorate the rest of her hips. She's leaning back. So now I'm going to go for my beautiful rib cage and my beautiful, beautiful hippage. There she is. Get that sharp curve in here, right there. Love handle, beautiful. There is the rest of that oblique. Oblique comes in and swoops down to meet the abs. You can kind of see right here where there is a separation. Even though she's a little thicker, there is still some separation where ab and oblique meet. So that ab meat turns into oblique meat, and now I'll kind of just meld in to create one beautiful shape. Okay, there's her torso. I'm going to find her boob line, because that's going to tell me where the rib cage is. From here, let's see. Curving literally with the bra is going to tell me exactly where my line starts. There we go. And now I can find the rest of her. Beautiful shoulder, beautiful arm, and all of this gorgeous hip that pokes out underneath that. There we go. Let's see. I'm going to say it right here. Yep. So yep is my belly button. So I had it down here. I'm going to move it up here. There it is. And that meets that. There we go. Take a step back, zoom out. You got to see your work far away sometimes. See if it even works lined up. Okay. We're about halfway through our timer. Get that pinch where the bra is. Oh, that beautiful squash and stretch is so lovely. Have some differentiation of curves, not just a sharp curve and a dark curve, but a nice sharp line to contrast that. That's always nice. Beautiful. Okay. I'm gonna also, let's see, find her armpit and put her head in, because she doesn't have a head. She needs a head. Let's see, there's her back. There we go. Alright, I care less about the bottom of her stomach, but more so where the abs and oblique need come in. There we go. I don't want to have too much fun with her curves, but I want to know where all the juicy details start. This beautiful section where there's fat combined with ab separation and stomach separation, and that gives me a better idea of where her abs and her tummy sits. Okay, now I can find the rest of her. Okay, let's see. Foreshortened arm, I'm not going to even imagine where the rest of it is, but there would probably be something like that. Her head, she needs a head, so let's see. From here, I'm using connection lines to find it. So let's go from the belly button to the nape of the neck. Here's the pit of the neck. I'm going to use that to tell me where the rest of her is. This comes in a little sharper. There's all this gorgeous hair covering up her head, but that's okay. Proportion-wise, her navel right to her bra line is about the same distance as her head, so I'm using that as a measurement. There we are. Now I can start to shape her face. Where's the angle of her face? Follow the nose from the forehead down to the bottom of the lips. I'm not going to even try to get details in, but I just want to find her. And now I can start to sculpt her. 1 minute. The distance between the eyes is about the same as one eye. Oof, it's rough. It's not great, but I think her nose is actually a little bit higher. Let's put this up here. There's her head, and then her ear and stuff is hidden by hair, but let's start to clean it up a little bit. 30 seconds. Her head is very much my weak point. I don't like drawing heads, can you tell? Where's the chin? Well, here's her neck. Here's her chin. 10 seconds, no. So it ain't so. There's her nose. I didn't do that well, but okay. Yay. It's rough, but you know what? I think I made her curvier and thicker than she actually is. Definitely embellished her way more, and we could have her leaning back a bit more. But I'm not mad at that. If I were to make some subtle corrections, I'm going to move this over here so I can actually see it. I have 2 minutes to talk about corrections, and then we'll move on to some other picture. No, come back. Why is it like that? There we go. Okay. So what did I do wrong? She's definitely not all over here with her arm. It's like in there. Contain it a little more. There we go. From there, I think I could have made this distance from her bra and her stomach a little bit less. So it would be a little bit closer to here. There we go, and make some room for her neck. Her bra is not way up there because I'm looking at the relationship, and the navel is about the same width as where her bra is, and I have it way out here. So it would be closer to that. Again, relationships tell me everything. And now she's leaning back a bit more. From there, find the center line from that to give me where the sternum starts, and follow that curve to get the strap. That feels better. You gotta zoom out sometimes. Bring this in and lean her back a bit more. Yeah, that feels better. Oh no, that's not my eraser. Alright. That's a gesture. Not bad. Not bad. 10 seconds to refine and call it. Alright, time's up. Hands up. We're not going into the next 10 minutes. I'm pausing it there. She has no head. She has no face. But you know what? The placement of it is close, and I'm happy with that. So another thing that I sometimes like to do, it's not always great because it's going to not be as accurate because you want to accentuate gesture, of course. But I'm just curious, how close was I? How off were we? Let's see here. You know what? She's definitely leaning way back more than I have her. But that's not bad. For 5 minutes? Alright. I'm not good at drawing fast. This is my biggest struggle. This is why it's a good practice to go back and try these again. Because I really, really struggle with speed. I am a slow burn artist. I take months on pictures. So, you know, I'm trying to get at least a little faster at the foundation process, because then I can take all the time in the world to detail later. But if the foundation is dodgy and it's taken me forever to do that, nah, we gotta speed that up. So anyway, any questions off the bat that I can answer, or anybody who wants to share their work in this stream in the Discord? I'm gonna take a bite real quick. Maybe step back, look at your artwork from far away, look at something else far away from your screen. Reset your eyes real quick. Okay. Did you stand up? It's okay if you didn't, but if you're able to, I hope so. Alright. Okay. Not bad. I like this start. And again, this was our first sketch for today. Not bad. I'm a little low, I just realized. Okay. So, this was the bean, which would mostly be curve 1, curve 2, and then swoop that back. So actually, something I didn't do, which I have mixed ways of how I want to go about laying down foundations. Sometimes I just go with what I see, and other times you want to start with something a bit more strategic. Not shabby at all. I'm curious if you were able to, let me know. Thanks. I feel pretty good about it, but it's not as good as it could be. But that's why this is the first one. We're warming up. So, something that I didn't do that I do regret, there is a very clear gesture line from her bottom leg all the way to the back of her head. We could even push that back even more. And that head beautifully contrasts that gesture, so it's giving us a little bit of that S-curve snaping back. And you can even use her hair as that S-curve to continue that line. And then from there, we build everything out. So following that center line, this is where her navel could be, this is where her neck could be, and this is going to inform everything else to make everything really swoop back. So what I kind of missed was this rib cage from here, following that curve, this area for the pelvis, and then literally connecting those two. And you get that natural bulge right there in the curve. And that could have probably been another way to approach it, but it really depends on you. So anyway, that's another form of gesture. But again, we're warming up. I saw a comment. Who was it? Hi! Oh, thank you so much. You're awesome. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. You know what? Actually, I guess I can spoil this. I've rarely had time to draw lately because I've just been crazy busy trying to set up a whole bunch of stuff because I won't lie, things are a little rough right now. Financially, things are tough, but I'm doing everything I can to, I'm basically spending every single waking moment I have to plug holes in our ship that is slowly sinking. But that's not to say bad news all abound. This is good news because I'm really close to finalizing a lot of that stuff. For the first time, I set up a Patreon, set up a Gumroad, set up, I'm getting commissions ready to go, so they'll be ready. Even if there are none coming in, they're almost ready. Yay! So it's mostly just logistics and setting that stuff up. And then lastly, yours truly is going to try maybe to finally be an art teacher. I've been teaching dance for years. Somebody in this chat already knows this, but I've never taught art. And virtually OutSchool is a place to explore teaching online to children. So I might be an online virtual teacher at some point. That'll be fun. So I'm practicing with you guys is all I'm saying. So thanks for being my guinea pigs. Appreciate you. So anyway, feel free to ask me questions, but my target demographic would be probably like ages 10 to 12, 13 to 14, and 16 to 18. Younger students. So, you know, if you're in college, you can just stay here. But if you're a little younger or you got a little sister or brother who's into art, check out On OutSchool very soon this April. I will hopefully be applying and getting that in my repertoire. So, yay! All right. But anyway, I miss drawing for me though. Snowgrave, when? We still got a contest to finish. Go and see all of that on the other channel where I do nothing but Deltarune fan art, and we do lots of very boring grounding foundational stuff in here, and then we just party over there. So anyway, thanks for hearing all of that. Let's move on. Next up is this dude. Wow, what the heck did you do, Pinterest? You skewed the heck out of it. Why is it like that? What? There we go. Why did it do that? That was weird. Okay. Well, we're going to try this gentleman next, and this was our warm-up. So I'm going to put down 5-minute warm-up. Warmp. There we go. Okay. And again, I don't blame you if you're not able to at the moment, but if you are an aspiring artist, I strongly suggest you do this with me. This is how we grow, this is how we improve, and if you want feedback on your work, again, I'm not a master myself, I only learn by just practicing multiple times, but doing these every week has helped a lot. So if you want to get feedback and talk about it, unfortunately, you know, Proko is a little bit bigger than he used to be back then, so he's not really offering critiques as much. So I'm hopefully able to do some of that. Not replacing him, but at least offering another place to talk and explore these things. So if you have questions, that's what I'm here for. So I'm going to make this a 15-minute gesture. And we're going to basically do the same thing we did before, but we're going to start with a rough gesture, and then we're going to build back in our ROBO bean, this box, which I believe for what Proko suggested, this is not exactly, you know, this is a simplified version of your rib cage and your pelvis, but it's still hitting very important landmarks. Your 10th rib, the base 10th rib, when you like arc back and you feel the rib that's hanging out and pointing out, that's this corner here, and then the bottom of that is your ACES point on your pelvis. Very, very strong landmark on all body types. What did I say? I don't know what I said. I said a lot of stuff. I don't know, Gma, I'm sorry. You love the ANATO bean! Oh, it's very fancy and very, very, very hard. But perspective-wise, work up to that. Start with the box, start with the bean. Start with 2 circles. And then you can put some more form on those circles with the box, and then at some point, when we do get to ANATO bean, which is going to be after this one, when we did the rib cage, I would again review all of these lessons Proko did. What? I can't understand you, Gma! You have to say complete sentences. What did I say? Did you say the 4th? April? I think yes. Yeah, I'm gonna guess that's what you meant. Something like that. I'm so happy you're here, thank you! I've been trying to get my grandma in here for years. Welcome, Gma. But yeah, so how long is this class? We're gonna try to do it an hour long. Hopefully not too much longer, maybe an hour and a half at most. But the more we ramble and share, the longer we're here, and the more time we have to dissect. But I don't want to take too long because my babies have a timer. Their stomach rumbles at 5 o'clock. 5:30 if I'm lucky. So it's 4:17 now over here in Cali time, and I gotta go. So anyway, the classes though for my OutSchool students would probably be like 45 to 50 minutes. We'll see. Attention spans are very short for kids. I think, what is it? 5-year-olds have 5 seconds. 3-year-olds have 3 milliseconds. It like goes down a decimal every age group. So anyway, but yeah, we're gonna get moving. One more lucky bite for good luck. Stretch the feet, shake your shoulders and your ankles. Rotate those ankles a little bit. Okay. This will be our ROBO bean, which is very good for generically male figures. So more box-like. I can already kind of see his pelvis and his ribcage. Do you? Before I draw them, do you see them with your robot X-ray vision, if you can, you're on your way. Because if you can start to see things perspective-wise without actually tracing over it, that's when you know your brain's sharpening that tool. That muscle is really, really sharpening if you can start to see X-ray vision. Rib cage may be a little bit harder to see, but if you can see two boxes, kind of one right there, kind of one right there, and you can see the front plane and the side plane, you're on your way. Okay, so here we go. Second lesson. I'm gonna start my timer over. Where is it? Not this one, I'm gonna close you. It's this one. All of my notes. Yeah, okay. By the by, you can get access to this timer via the link below. I'm pretty sure I have it in this description, maybe. I forget, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But if you want, I'll drop it real quick. It's not live, because I've been waiting to officially finalize this course. It's not like a course, but it'll be basically what we're doing now, but truncated to the timer in real time. So whenever I have extra time, whenever that is, I will upload more of these. Hopefully they'll be weekly. But for now, you can just use this timer. So anyway, setting it back to 5 minutes, we're going to get started with this gentleman here. And here we go. Unless anybody has questions, let me know. Second gesture, we're going to go 15 minutes on this one. And bonus points if you go full body. It's only, required to just do oblique time, but you really kind of are missing out on this gorgeous C curve that he's making if you don't do the rest of him. So it's up to you. One more bite. Oh, I'm very hungry. By the by, let me know how music sounds if it's a little quiet. There's lovely Zelda playing. You may not be able to hear it because it's competing with my fan, but let me know. Okay. Whoa! Alrighty. Here we go. Second do. Brush is ready. Cool. Alrighty. Starting. It's not 3, 2, 1 yet. You'll look for the number here. Get a sip of water in your body real quick. Here we go. Boom, baby. Here we go. All right, right off the bat. Oh, I remember that. I don't like to remember those times, Gma. They're scary. I won't tell you now, but back in the day, I was not really a artist yet, and we went to an art show. My grandma showed me naked people. It was very fun. All right, so let's see. Right off the bat, I'm actually going to start with a bean because it'll tell me where my base primitives are before I box them out. And I see a pelvis right here. This plane is very clear to me. Boom. Boom. Yeah. Foreshortened, because it always goes into the center ever so slightly. Where is the side plane? There it is. Those 2 points should converge at some point ever so slightly. Here is the rest of him. And then base bottom plane. Cool. Let's say, yeah, all right, erase what I don't need. Now I can start to put my box in. So let's see. I see a belly button. That's what I always start with. Where are my pisses points? The points I'm looking for are these 2 big landmarks on the side of the pelvis, on the hips. Yeah. And yeah. I think this is actually closer here. These 2 points converge, and that's a belly button right there. Okay, from there, my belly button finds my shoulders. Yeah. So I'm gonna go yeah, and yeah. And it still kind of lines up. From there, I'm gonna find the plane of my shoulders. There they are. And then the pit of the neck. From there, where's my neck? Oh, my hand keeps covering him. There we are. There his neck is. There is his neck. All right. And look at this beautiful stretch of pec. My God, it's stunning. I love it. So now I can start to find the rest of him. Okay. This is all kind of swooping in like so. I'm going to just trace a light contour around what I'm seeing to kind of box in where he's going. all of this beautiful oblique meat. Dang it, it's lovely. Oh, it's lovely. I love obliques. They're so lovely. My word, I love them. All right. And this is tracing to that shoulder. Now I can start to find the rest of him. Okay, we really only care about torso, so I'm going to get that locked down. Let's see. First of all, where is the rest of him? There he is. And, oh, there's a lovely cast shadow too. Shadows also are very good for helping you find landmarks. I'm going to trace this add line, because that's going to tell me where the cutoff from oblique is, because cutoff should be right on the side of him. Flank fat, turning into oblique fat, swoops out, it curves up. Let's see, where's my pelvis? He's wearing some shorts, but I can guarantee you there is a pelvis here. Oblique sits on top of that, and then you can see the rest of him curving out. And that's where most of it is. Okay, I'm going to continue this line down, and now I'm going to try to find his head. Oh my god, where is his head? Straight line. Base of the hips right here. Oh, there's some lovely compression happening in here as well. Ooh, it's lovely. Ooh, it's lovely. There's the top of his head. Okay. I see you. I see you, sir. Yeah. Oh my gosh, you're kidding me. No way, bro. No way, bro. Okay. He's like really crunching in his neck there. Where's your neck? Where's your neck, honey? This is all pec. And he has no arms right now, but that's okay. Let's shrink him down a little bit. I just wanted the torso mostly. Now let's find the rest of him. Okay. I don't need that much space for legs. I don't think so. Oh my god. But there it is. From here, swoop that down to continue into the leg. This big old beautiful foreshortened leg coming straight at you like Cleopatra. Oh my god, it's right there. Continue that curve. Give me some knee. Okay. I'm gonna continue that straight in. And there's a bit of a foot. I'm not gonna try to even bother with the rest of that yet. Let's get an arm in here. Bam. Okay. I really went all out on that torso. That doesn't feel balanced at all. And I'm gonna tell you why now. Because there's no way this creature would be feasibly able to support himself with just this leg. So he needs something back here to anchor him for him to feel real. Otherwise, he's floating. So I'm going to do some due diligence and really quickly put in his back leg, because that's going to make him feel more balanced. So this back leg should be right on the edge of his butt. His heel comes right about there. And then I can find the rest of him. Yeah. Thigh. Looking for negative space. Right around here. And this should continue that line. This still makes sense to my brain. Yes, there's calf. Okay. There's the rest of his knee. Swoop that back. Yeah, okay. Not really caring about feet. I just want to find him. There he is. He already feels more real now. Cool. Get rid of the stuff that's going to confuse me. There he is. Arm 2. Arm 1. Yeah. Cover up most of... Oh, well, now his head's missing. Wait a minute. Ah. So I need to put some space in between his ear and his head. Ear. And it's all in shadow. This is all in shadow. So now, where the heck is your other arm, dude? I can still see the ear, so this is where his arm starts. So arm actually comes out. Scapula. Shoulder. And there's his arm. I'm not even going to try arms and hands yet, forget that. But there's the arm. Okay. Again, I'm using a lot of core shadows to tell me information. It's a very strong core shadow with this guy. Very beautiful, clear lighting. And now I can see his pec coming through. There we go. I wasted my break. I was supposed to be working on everything else, but I didn't do that. His head feels a bit small. I'm going to make it a little bigger. I apologize for talking so much. I talk things through to help me figure it out. And hopefully if you're drawing, I'm not distracting you too much. Okay. Other arm. coming up from the top of his head. There it is. There should be some negative space in between those arms. That one starts about here. So his head I already see is too small. Or there's too much, there's not enough hair. Let me give him some hair. There we go. And that should also make some space. So now, if his other arm is up here, I'm not going to finish it, but let's say, yeah. Swoopity. There it is. Feels a little thick. He's a lean dude. Alrighty. There we go. Forget arms. Nah, we're not here for that. We're here for tummy. Alright. That also prompts me to realize I want to make some space because I want to get his other foot in here. I care more about his feet because that's going to tell me anchor-wise where he sits. You notice that beautiful diagonal? His feet continue the line. So I'm going to do that to continue going in this direction. So now, the foot ends at his knee. Boom. Relationships. That tells me how long his foot is. There we go. Toes. Heel. Swoops back out. Get some rigid, sharp lines on there to make him feel like a real person. Fat only feels squishy if it's against something sharp like a bone. There we go. Nice. Alrighty. Now I can start to put the rest of him in. That feels like a real human. Took a little too long to find him, but that's him. There he is. Zoom out. Yeah. Alright. Muscle definition. Well, no, not yet. Let's find bone first. Where are my colors? I'm gonna move this out of the way real quick. Give me my colors. Things are getting cluttered very quickly. I don't know how I feel about having this over here, but then I can't see my layers. I don't know, I'll figure it out. Oh no, let's do this. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Nice. Alright. Cool. So now, lock this down. This is my base. Bay! Lock her down. Hunker down. New layer. Cool. Alright. Goal of this is a robo beam, so let's put that in. So where is the front plane of his rib cage? We already kind of found it over here. The pelvis is at actually a similar angle to the rib cage. It's swooping back ever so slightly. I'm looking at this curve right here to find that. And then that curves back ever so slightly to find the rest of it. And then just connect the dots. Let's see. No, his rib cage is lower than that. There's more space. Let's see. That's the sternum. Here's the base of his rib cage. Right around here. At the second ab point. His belly button's right there. A little above that is base of the rib cage. Same line. Maybe curving ever so slightly up to find the connecting point. Okay. Remember, bones don't move. Muscles and tendons move, but bones do not. They do not move. Cool. I found it. There's my box. Beautiful. Alright. Let's hide this. Does that look like a box that makes sense? Not really. Not yet. Something went screwy. This does not connect to that. Okay. Sure. Let's go with that. I'm going on an assumption because I can't see my base gesture right now. So let's just find these lines and lock them down. It should still make sense in the world we built. Oh, it's too small. Oh. This line still works though. Alright. Alright. Now, note to the word to the wise. The box in your body is a little bit curved because your rib cage is not totally one-to-one a straight box. If you see in the example, there's some, it's a little bit concave. It's a little bit convex, I mean. So let's round that box ever so slightly. And again, using the planes we built earlier. If this is his neckline, I'm gonna add a little bevel to that. not a bevel, that's not the term, but let's, I guess, bloat it a little bit. Ooh, that sounds weird, but you know. It's got to breathe when you inhale and exhale. Nice. Let's look at that. That looks better. Where's my center line? Around there. Following that curve. Look at the center points on each section and then just connect them. Yeah. That feels better. Erase what I don't need, because it's going to mess me up later. Alright, taking too long in the weeds here. What needs to be done? Pelvis. He needs a pelvis. Let's give this boy a pelvis. The pelvis is going to be a little bit more rigid. I don't think we need to worry so much about a curved pelvis. Right? Right. Alright. So we can just redraw that box we just made earlier. Here it is. Straight across the pants. Right there. Straight behind the pants. The curve of the pants actually tell you where everything is. And the oblique is a really good indicator of where your pelvis sits. You can see it swooping right here. This is right where your pelvis crest starts. Straight line. And then all of this is fat hanging off. Maybe crunch this in a little more. Okay, center points. Let's see. Can't really see where his pelvis ends, but it shouldn't be as long as your ribcage. It's like half of the ribcage about. All right. Clean it up. And again, I'm using a ton of shortcuts to jump around as fast as I am. That comes with time and comfort in your software and or your tools. Don't have to use Paint Tool SI like me. It's an older software. People probably would say Procreate is better. I've not had the privilege of using Procreate yet. I would love to try it. Alrighty. So now let's just connect the dots. I'm going to take a red marker to go over a little bit of muscle, because I'm not going to use the next 10 minutes. We're going to just use this time. Now that we have our box, we'll do a bit more of a detailed anatomy sketch next, but for this one, let's get his muscles in. So I'm going to find his contours now. This is actually where his ribcage sits, sitting on top of this. All of this. I might go into what muscles we're looking at, but this is not ribcage, this is serratus. I'll talk about why I know that in a moment. Oh, beautiful oblique! Cover up the back half of it, and then it swoops up to sit on top of this. So oblique is going to always sit on top of a little bit of the pelvis. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous curve. I want that. Sharp curve meets sharp distinction of abs. That comes in. He's hunching over so it bloats the abs a little bit. When the muscles are contracted, they bloat up like an accordion. Let's see. I want that sharp distinction of muscle separation. Yeah. Again, we're not doing a whole gesture. We're just focusing on his obliques today. Let's see if we can get some of that shadow in for this final minute. Sharp. Ooh, I see some beautiful foreshadow right here. Right here. Oh yeah. Sharp lines. I'm gonna squint to make it even more obvious. No! 10 seconds. Just get something rough and dirty in here. Okay. It's definitely messy and it's not our best. I am sweating. I'm so sorry. But you know what? We learn best by practicing, and I don't ask for perfection ever from anyone. I just ask for you to try. So let's see. It's messy. Definitely not our cleanest, but you know what? Can you see what's going on? That is the goal. And I'm not going to even try to compare because I curved him way more than he actually is. This man is doing a normal curve. I went way off the grid. And I think I kind of lost the gesture a little bit with the buttocks here because I went too far out this way. It's still going to sweep back a little bit to get to those hamstrings. There should be some more room for the legs here. So it's not, you know, nothing is perfect, but I think there's a little more space here than I gave him for where his leg separation and his actual leg starts. If this is where his leg actually starts, coming out of his shorts, there's like not much room. Well, you know what? It's pretty close. It's pretty close. Again, we're not going for one-to-one. We're just trying to find enough. I paused it. I'm gonna set this on because I want to not get stuck in the weeds again. I know myself. If I let the timer go off, I will just get stuck. Let me see. I'm gonna try to find the rest of him real quick and just paint the rest of this picture super fast. 2 minutes to do that. We won't spend any longer than that. There's his knee. There's all of these beautiful quad muscles. Oh, I love the quads. Oh, I love the quads. They're juicy. Lateralis, medialis, and rectus femoris. Oh my god, my favorites, my babies. When we get to the legs, boy howdy, I'm gonna have fun. I love me some legs. Spent a good deal of time on them, I'll tell you that. Alrighty. That's enough for now. No. Say it ain't so. Alright. Then, I don't care so much about the rest of that back half. But, I do want to get that delicious curve in there. Let me see. The rest of him. Shoulder. I see the definition of right here. Separation of shoulder, deltoid, and scapula. Straight meets sharp curve. Scapula, muscle. Deltoid. There it is. Add straights next to curves if you can. Bicep comes out from there. Swoop this all as one beautiful curve because it's all in shadow. There's his pec that comes out here. And it's gonna get hidden mostly in shadow, but still important to find. Alright, I'll stop. Fine. Alright. I could detail forever, but the point is, you know where everything is. That was my job. My mission is to show you where everything is. Detailing, you can do that later. Okay, reset your eyes. I'll be right back in about 1 or 2 minutes. I'm actually going to go back to our timer, to my 2-minute break, to use that as my timer to come back. So in 2 minutes, we'll come right back. Where is it? Here it is. Yeah. Alrighty. Enjoy 2 minutes. I'll be right back. I'm gonna reset my eyeballs, my free jewels. I was watching Undertale Yellow earlier. And I will see you in a moment for the next gesture and our final one for the day. Whew. Stretch your legs, step outside for a second, smell some oxygen, or pet a cat or a dog. I got That was the 1 minute bell. Okay. let's get stuff set up for our last gesture for the evening. Here we go. Final one. Oh, look at this beautiful creature. What a beautiful specimen this creature is. Gorgeous human. My word. Okay. Again, I'm going to start my timer over because I want to use the full timer. This one will be a full gesture. So we're going to go all the way through the top. Oh. Stretch my back, stretch my neck. Oh, I'm still on BRB. Sorry. There we go. Sorry. Okay. Final gesture. Wow. And you know what? Something I didn't do with this guy, but not as important because we were mostly here for oblique. Things I want to point out that if we are going to do a full gesture, this is where you can start to accentuate certain muscles. So the assignment was to accentuate the oblique. Probably could have gone over that with another, stroke of black to just make it sharper, add some shadow, and that cast shadow is less important than this oblique. So even if we found everything, stylistically it could be a cleaner sketch, Study-wise, we can improve our aesthetics. So for this one, I really would suggest a tracing of this one. We might get to it because there is so much going on with this woman. Wow! So besides the fact, the reason I picked this one is A, oblique. She is contracting. So this is very pronounced. Prominent serratus. Differentiation of serratus and oblique, you can kind of tell because the serratus is much more horizontal. Oblique is much more angled at a 45-degree angle. So oblique literally means diagonal. So this is serratus poking out from underneath the lat. All of this is one giant muscle. I still don't really remember the back muscles. I forgot a lot, but oblique and serratus connect right here. This is, I think, oblique, and then some serratus poking through up here. The digitation is a little bit more pronounced closer to the ribs. From there, this is the front of the abs, and you can kind of see a little bit where that stair-steppy pattern is, where oblique meets abs happening there. This is where actual pelvis starts, and then leg begins. Pocket muscle, TFL, tensor fascia lata, deltoid, stunning deltoid. All of this is one muscle, even though it looks like three. These are just three separate heads of your deltoid. Bananas. Tricep, bicep, and a bunch of muscles under here. 20 or 30 things going on in here that I won't even begin to name, but a couple of things. Your bony landmarks. You want to see those against a nice squishy curvy muscle. Trapezius. Wow, she is ripped. My God, stunning. Oh, we get another chance at the armpit. I spent last week trying to figure out the armpit. Well, not last week, but a week or prior before that. We can try to find our infraspinatus, I'm not going to even name muscles because I know we don't care so much about names, but what they do. There's a lot of hot dogs and bananas and sausages in your shoulders that connect to from the back of your scapula to your armpit. So, biggest one you probably need to worry about, teres major. This is the guy that most people accentuate when they're drawing superheroes facing the back. You see a big old bulging sausage coming from the back. That's this guy. Tensor. No. I just said it. I forgot already. I said it. I forgot already. Teres major, there it is. I was like, it starts with a T. Anyway. I could hurt myself very badly here by trying to flip the muscle or flip the gesture like I do. But I think let's just do a standard gesture today. Because the other side of this isn't going to be very different. She's basically twisting towards this direction, but the other side is basically the same thing, just maybe a little more stretched. So I think I'll save my brain the trouble, and I'll just do a regular gesture. That's going to be reserved for more, I guess, wildly different perspective pictures. If the gesture is very erratic, and like one side is clearly different than the other, I might try it out. But for this one, it's pretty standard fare. You can kind of see the triangle of Venus poking out of her butt right here, which is going to help you find the pelvis, the angle of the pelvis, at least. This is one back plane, this is the side plane. Front plane's going to go in the same direction, you just can't see it because it's overlapped by muscle. And then boom! Are you ready? Alrighty. We're gonna call this final gesture, 25-minute. Alrighty. This is the last one of the evening. 30 minutes, lock in. Once we start, we cannot stop. I'm gonna put another N next to this. Hello? Mouse? There we go. That was weird. There we go. And again, I move very quickly once I start drawing, so if you have questions, ask me now, but we probably won't get to answer any questions until after the session. So 30 minutes to hold on to questions, or ask me right now if you have a thought or would like me to look at your work real quick. Okay. Let's see. How do I want to approach this? Side profile is much harder because you don't have the same bony landmarks that we were looking at when we were referencing. If you can't see the belly button or the front of the neck, back points, the T14, I always forget. No, C7, that's what it is. Big bony landmark on the back of your neck. You can even feel it if you palpate going down your spine. C7 is the most prominent protruded part of your cervical spine, right underneath your neck. So C7, which would probably be right around where her bra strap is, and then that connecting down to the triangle of Venus is another landmark you can use. The 3 points being the Pizza's points, the posterior iliac crest back here, and then her butt crack. Sorry, there's no other way to say it. And then tracing literally the straps on her clothing to find the rest of where the pelvis angle is. So honestly, even if we didn't have her wearing clothes, you can still use the oblique as a landmark. It's actually, her pelvis is up here. This is just the strap. But it tells you at least the angle that it's going, if you still need a little help seeing with x-ray vision. All right, that's all the ammo I'm gonna give you for now. Otherwise, I'm gonna take one more bite of some acai berry, acai, however you wanna say it. Apples and walnuts. It looks like vomit, but it tastes like heaven. It tastes like ice cream. Okay. Last session. I haven't been recording this whole time. I love when I do that. Ah! Okay, well, this is the big one. We're gonna start recording now. Okay, we're recording now. My recorder is off camera, so you can't see it. You were supposed to tell me, but I'm not. But how would you know that? Ah! Okay, well, this is the big one. So here we go. Move this down here. Yeah. Okay. So starting with gesture, big C curve. Then we go for bones. ANATO beam, rib cage, and pelvis. Our bucket that we learned in the bucket lesson way back when. Even if you can't see the base of it, you can still kind of find the top half of it, and that should tell you plenty. That's enough. And then lastly, muscle definition. Our goal is to get obliques in, and then if we have any extra bonus time, obliques, serratus, lat, and all of this if we want to get her hair in. All right? I'm going to take one more bite because I'm stalling, because the second I start, I will not be able to eat. Starting in. 3, 2, 1. Go. Gesture. There it is. All right. That's a little too much. There we go. A little softer than that. Lumbar. Curve it back. Okay. Now, find, let's see, the booty cheeks. Here they are. Alrighty. Pelvis, angle, starting there. C7, way up there. This point right here. Alright. I'm gonna just take all of this beautiful curve start to find my rib cage. Let's see. Here it is. I'm looking at the serratus and oblique muscles because oblique connects to the rib cage, so it has to be there. It's arcing forward. Let's see. I'm gonna also find, let's see, the side plane. There's not much. This is where this point is. Angle of Venus. There's very, very little to go off of, but you can still see something. Okay. From there, that's the back of half of her butt. Now I can see everything else. Tracing this curve. That's her strap. All of this. Now I'm going to try to find her spine. The midpoint of her back. Just tracing ever so slightly along that line. Long curves here, y'all. No pencil scratches. Use your shoulder. And breathe. Okay. From there, I'm going to use this angle to find the front half of her shoulder. Ooh, I feel like I gave her way more curve than necessary now. She's too thick. That's not all back. Let's see. This is all in line with her. From torso to head. Head should be here. Okay. So now, blocking in the rest of her. There's her actual spine. It's good to be ambitious, but let's be also realistic. That's a gradual curve. Sharp, straight. Okay. Now I can see everything else. We're already low on time. Goodness gracious. Where's her arm? Where's her bra? Okay. There's her leg. Okay. Now I think we got a little bit something in there. Her back still feels way too long and way too far away. What's going on here? If I'm gonna start to find a rib cage, I need to know where it is now. So let's see. Here it is, abs. I definitely made too much space for her rib cage. I went too wide with her. So let's see. The widest part could be here. This is as wide as we go. I'm using this distance and this distance. 14 seconds. Not gonna finish, but I went too ambitious. That was my first mistake. Alrighty. That feels a little bit better. Oh, thanks, Gma. Appreciate it. You're so sweet. Mwah. Alrighty. Zoom out and take a look real quick. What's off? I know it's off, I just can't describe it. I feel it, I just can't see it. So what happened? She's way too thick in the back. I feel like this is fine. Like all of the points I'm looking at line up correctly, but if this big old C curve is the goal, we got it. it's just not quite landing correctly when we look at everything else. Abs, oblique, all of this oblique I cannot wait to get to, but I can't do anything first until I realize everything else is in the right place. Arm is actually up here. Using again, I don't think I've ever rested during my breaks. I never have time to. This is head. From here, eye line. There's her eye. And then it would be cut off. There's her nose. All of this delicious, delicious deltoid. It's right there. This is traps. I'm not even going to try to get into the rest of her. I just want to make sure she's in the right place. This has to connect back to her head, so her head has to actually be way up here. Oh my goodness, we really missed her. Yeah, I was really off. Crazy off. Elba. Idris Elba. What a good knuckles. There's my delts. There's my trap. There's my tripe. Nope, not tripe. That's not the word. Tricep. There it is. Alright, I'm getting stuck in the weeds again. That's what I do. I'm a perfectionist. This is why these lessons are so good for me, because I need to work on just speed. Okay. I can't explain it, but something feels off and I don't know what it is. And I'm not really sure, so I'm gonna just keep going and find the rest of her as I go. Boob feels like it's down here. So it's not nearly as much as I showed. It's a little slimmer. Calmer down. Cometh downeth. Okay. There's a little bit more there, but the point is not boob, it's abs and oblique. I just want to find everything in the right place. Okay. Is it when we went back? Is her back actually here? I couldn't tell you where I went wrong. Something just doesn't feel right. This isn't usually a gesture I would struggle with. I don't know why. Let's keep going. Alright, for now, there she is. Let's try finding some muscle and bone underneath, shall we? So here we go. Let's find a rib cage. I'm going to start with a box and work it into a rib cage from there. So where is the top plane of it? I'm going to lock that down. Last gesture, I want to do a good job. Side plane. It's not as obvious because all of these lines are going to confuse you. We're looking for bone, not muscle. So I'm going to look for the pinch right here where the torso starts to change. This sharp curve is usually bone structure. Her muscles are very defined. Oh no, they're incredibly defined. But bones are a little harder to find. That's the part that I'm struggling with. I can see the back of her ribcage right around here. Oh, but that doesn't feel right. Because this isn't all ribcage. You know what? I'm going to do something I don't usually do. I just need to know why this doesn't work. Something is wrong. What happened? I got her in there mostly. I think I just pushed her too far. No, she's kind of in there. Alright, I guess. I was worrying for nothing. I kinda got her in there. Alrighty, I don't like to do that because it's gonna make me change everything, but alright. So why on earth am I having such a hard time finding your ribcage, honey? Again, I'm not an expert, I'm still learning, but dang, I've not struggled this hard in a while. It's a good struggle. I'm here for it. I thought I knew what I was doing when I was started, but clearly not. We already lost about half our time. Goodness me. Okay. Let's find our straights before I curve anything. I'm usually so excited for this part. This is my favorite part. So why am I struggling so much with it? It's not a very clear base plane. It's a little harder to see. Oh, not quite. We're saving muscles for the end, but I'm waiting to get to those muscles after I find the bones underneath. I can't do any muscle definition on top until I know what's sitting underneath it, because that's when we can detail. If there's nothing supporting the muscles, then they won't feel real. Okay, I kind of feel it now. I'm kind of seeing the sauce. There's something there. Wait, no, I know what it is. Where's her neck? There's her neck. Ribcage has to connect to a neck. Let's try that. Where's the back half of it? Where is your back, my dear? Here it is. Okay, I'm gonna just trace that curve. Yeah. I don't draw backs often. I clearly need more practice with them because, good lord, I'm struggling. Wow. It's been a minute. I miss this. I don't miss this, but it's been a long time since I've had this much tough struggle. Okay. All right, there we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. All right, I see it. All right. There's a rib cage. Okay. Let's hide this. That looks better. Okay. Back plane of the rib cage. This is it. Okay. The rib cage doesn't usually have a little, it has a little pocket that your spine sits in. And then let's find her spine. Maybe that's what I'm missing. I didn't really draw it because it's so obvious and very pronounced, but it's also muscles. There's much, much more muscles on this model than usual. So cervical is going way up here to come back out and swoop into lumbar. Oh, I think I made her torso too long, because that should not have that much space in between that. There is way less space between your rib cage and your pelvis than I did. I see. So this, well, no. I put this as her, this is her panty strap. Pelvis is up here. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the code again. I'm smelling it. This is, yes! Okay, this is tailbone. The triangle of Venus is not the bottom of your pelvis. It's where the tailbone is. Your tailbone's a little bit lower, about halfway point. Guys, I'm sweating. I'm having fun. Okay, I got it. I figured it out. Ah! Alrighty. Cool. I am a sweaty beast. Oh my god. Okay. Alrighty. Rough lines for now. And then we'll put in an actual circle in here. Okay. Alrighty. Now I see. It's very foreshortened, but a women's pelvis is a little bit wider than a men's. So let's actually make that happen. Alrighty. That feels better. This is all oblique. Pinchy. Yes. I see it. Front plane. Huh. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay. Sorry, I was freaking out over nothing. I was right. I just didn't think I was right. Okay. Here's her tailbone. The triangle of Venus. Bloop. That's butt crack. But above that is actual pelvis, where the torso and the spine sit. So let's find that. Ooh, in one? Nice. Ellipses are not fun usually. I cheat a lot with them. There's a circle ruler in this app that I use a lot, and I'm trying not to do that as often, but yes, your pelvis is actually rounded. It just is easier to draw it as a box. Let's see that. I just want to get this top plane down because that's gonna answer everything else. Okay, from there, bottom plane is going to be more foreshortened because it's coming down. I mean, less foreshortened, I'm sorry. And it's also coming in. It's a bucket, so it has a smaller bottom than top, but it's going to be more foreshortened than our top plane. I mean, less. Sorry, that's hard to explain. I'm trying my best to do this while talking, and I'm not really good at it, but I'm trying. Okay. There we go. Base of that bucket swoops up a little bit to hit the tailbone. This is the cutoff, right about there. If our halfway point of our bucket is right mizzity, then about a third down, 1, 2, 3. There is the cutoff for the bucket. Boom, baby. And then there would be a little bit of a swoopy out there. There's her pelvis. I see you! I see you! Yes! Yes! There we go. Alright. I mean, it's not great. I took half of that time freaking out about how I thought I was wrong, but I was actually right. Okay, and now we can go in and put muscle definition in. So let's just clean this up so it's starting to make a little more sense. Here's her spine. Swoops in, it sits right inside, and then it's not very visible here because she's hunching so much, but it would curve out ever so slightly back to hit her tailbone. So that would be where her spine sits. Alrighty. Is her head in the right place? I think so, but I don't think I made it big enough. Her head's like way up here. And now that I look at this, our bones and our base are not correct anymore. They're in two different places. Muscle definition doesn't come out that far. I would like to push this out a little more, maybe a smidge, but now I'm just gonna get lost if I keep doing that, so I'm gonna just keep it as is. But this is too much muscle definition now, so I'm actually gonna go in and bring this in just a hair. There we go. That feels better. Save. Oh, stretch real quick. Look away from the screen for the last 20 seconds that we are working on this, and now we can finally put some detail in here. Last session. Flex the feeties, rotate the ankles and wristies. Shake your little booty. Okay. No, it's time for rippling muscles now. The fun part. And now that I look at it, I actually was right the first time with her bra. Her boob is a little lower because it's this is my cutoff point. I have this going a little bit past right where her tricep sits. So I'm going to just move that out ever so slightly. She got some more girth. There we go. That can be our shadow line. That works if she wasn't wearing a bra. Okay, time to lock in and focus. Muscles! Alright. Lock. I almost trashed it. Oh my god. Red for muscle. And then gray for final details. Okay, what do we want to focus on? Oblique! So where on earth is it? Well, where is her pelvis and where is her ribcage? This line is confusing me. That's gonna confuse me later. Plane is correct, but the box that I put at the end is not. Okay. Oblique down, please. If this is where I put her pelvis, this is going to be a little bit on top of that. Almost! Class will be over in about 10 minutes. When this bottom timer goes off, that's when class is over. But if you gotta bounce, you gotta bounce, no problem. I oversit. I understand. Look at that beautiful S-curve. You will not find any more S-curves in the body like that in any place else other than obliques. Because that love handle is so juicy. Oh my god, I love it. Ooh! It's nice. It's nice. It makes me so happy. Oblique is probably my favorite part of the body. Oh, it's lovely. Okay. This is all... Ooh, she even has a little bit of definition here. You can kind of see there's a little bit of separation of muscle there. That's actually some flank fat, and then very, very, very minorly visible on the edge of it is where her abs actually are. So that cutoff is abs. Wow, it's really, really fine and hard to spot. If you look, if you know what to look for, you can see it, but that's it. There is some ab here, but most of this is oblique. Okay. Oblique, 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 oblique. Okay. Oblique swoops back to get to the rib cage. Rib cage is up here, so let's connect the dots. Bump, bump, bump. They connect to each rib. So following that line. No, you're allowed to be a student. I never said you were annoying. Nobody ever said that. You said that. I enjoyed the feedback. It's welcome. Thank you. You're not an annoying student. In fact, you're being very good practice for when I eventually do have more friends in here. I can't wait. Bump, 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 bump. I want to continue this. In fact, I can't wait to see you when you finally come back to visit. I'm sorry we haven't been able to. We've been super busy over here, but I want to be able to hang out. So thanks for hanging out. Alright, ab. Ooh, yeah. Pinch those abs as much as you can. They're contracting like an accordion because she's curving. And then some of that is interlocking with serratus, but it's very minor and mostly covered up by boob. So don't really need to know about that as much. But just know that they are. How many references? Lava! It's so nice to see you. Hello! I'm actually on my last reference. I apologize. This is the final one for the day. We did 3 total. So if you want to see all the rest of them, you'll have to rewatch this VOD. But thank you so much for popping in. I appreciate you. After these 5 minutes, we're going to call it. Today is Oblique Day, and I just wanted to give you guys a well-rounded look at all of the ways you can approach the obliques with all the different beans. Okay, that squash and stretch is really tasty, but something's not right. This feels more like a stomach squid thing happening and not an oblique muscle. And then there is that strap that's pinching that skin to actually begin the rest of her. And this is a big old muscle right there. Tensor fascia lata, literally your pocket muscle. This thing right here bulging out, that's where you put your phones usually. It's tensor fascia lata. Call that the pocket muscle. I see some depressed glute med. This is depressed a little bit, and that would imply that she's actually extending her leg outward, sideways, laterally. I don't care about the butt as much because we're not here for that. Let's see. What is needed? Lat. Dun, 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 dun. All of this connects all the way down there, right to the base of the rib cage. I think I did put too much space in between a rib cage. There should be a little bit less. Maybe rib cage would come down here. That feels better, but for now. What is very pronounced up here? Oh, yeah, it's been a while since our adventures. I can't wait for those too. Let's see, lat. And then swooping up here. Now let's see if we can find the other muscles I was talking about. So here is, all of this is tricep, but underneath that, very, very finely in, is some not tensor, I keep trying to say it, teres major, which would connect to your scapula back here. And I didn't put it in here, but this is where all of those back muscles that we'll define another day when we finally get to it would sit. Deltoid, delicious, juicy deltoid. Can't miss that core shadow, really lovely. Back banana, I'm actually going to make this a little sharper. Middle banana, medial part of the deltoid, and then outer banana. There's 3 heads to your shoulder, and in that would be your scapula connecting to your clavicle. Bicep, she's bunching her arms, so there's some bicep condensing into that skin fold, which would become arm muscle. Ridge muscles right here are lovely. She's very, very defined. Lovely, lovely. I don't really need to do her arm, but I do want to get a strong elbow in, because that shows bone and muscle connection, and we always love that. This is a long tendon. Tricep tendon meets sharp, straight to curve. Again, contrasting straights and curves make your sketches feel very dynamic, because then you can feel rigidity against squishy soft bone and muscle. Alright. Again, don't need to worry about the arms too much. But there's an elbow. And does it work? Yeah, sure. Alrighty. Something I've been avoiding this whole time because I'm scared. Where is her head? There's the back of her other arm. So let's find her head. For criminy's sake, before this ends, we've got to give her a head. And then we'll go back over everything with one more fine-tooth comb, if we have time. There's a lot of hair covering it, but her eye is right above her deltoid, so that's where her eye sits. Not down here. There we go. And there's her schnoz. And then cheek. There we go. Alrighty. Ear. Looking at the connection line from her eye to her ear tells me the point of where her head sits. It's usually right at the top of the ear. Okay. And then I can see some neck poking out, some trap. Most of this is hair. I'm gonna leave that. There's a big old top knot. Let's get in here with one more pen. Go over everything a little bit darker one more time, because this is still kind of confusing to me. This shoulder needs some other stuff. Most of this can be one smooth sweep. Alrighty, hands up. Well, you know, I've never been good at this. Drawing fast is not my strength. But do I know where everything is? For the most part, yeah. Could I detail the heck out of this later to my heart's content and say I know where everything sits? Yeah. Is it great to look at off the bat? No. But how close were we? Let's see. Nowhere close. But you know what? That's not the point. It is and it isn't. Like, you want to be accurate, but you don't want to be one-to-one, because drawing from life is, the fun is exaggeration. So it could be a little bit off, but did I get most of the pieces in the right place? Yeah! I mean, I could have given her way more girth in this boob, and her arms a little bit higher than I have it. But the curve I got, and that was the part that gave me so much grief in the beginning, so I feel decent about that. As a sketch, anatomy-wise, it's good. But as like a finished, complete picture to put on a portfolio piece, nah. But again, that's the point. We're here to learn and we're here to study. We're not here for perfect sculptures. If we were here for that, that's why the other channel is there, so I can take 10 years to milk a picture. So, before we finish, I always love to show you the recording time lapse, because I don't know when I'll get to these. But I unfortunately didn't record all of them. I only recorded the last one, but we started with a lovely curvaceous lady up here. And then we did that. We did the bean with her, 5-minute practice. Then we did this gentleman, which was fun, and he came out all right. He's definitely leaning farther back in this picture than I have him, and I think his head is kind of a little low, but it's not bad. Bub, stop. Yeah, I don't care. You can't get under my bed right now. Go upstairs. There you go. And then finally, this curvaceously lovely lady that we landed on, that lava came in on. So, yeah, all in all, I'm happy with this. I'll call this a stream. So, let's watch the really quickly time lapse. I'll jump over to this screen. Ready? Ooh, I took a while to find her in the first place. That was the first pass. Second pass, we cheated a little, but you know, we had to figure it out. Then we found the bones, and it kind of made sense after that. And then from there, we put details and muscle on top. And that's it. Yeah. Yeah. So, I'm going to call stream here because it's about 5:30 and that's usually when children start screaming. He's calm for now, but I think it's just because of the heat. It's real hot today. So, I'm going to say thank you so much for everyone who joined me this evening. And as always, my friends, PLD, keep playing, keep loving, and keep dreaming. And I will see you guys next time for part 2 of this 4-part section of the obliques, where we will talk about probably more actual invention of obliques. Yay! I'm happy that you're happy too. So as always, my friends, thanks so much for joining me. And if you have questions, put them in the Discord. Otherwise, hopefully next time will be less hot and I will be less sweaty. So thanks again, Lava, for popping in. Thanks for being here, Grandma. I appreciate you. Mwah! And I'll see you all next week, as well as over on the Crystal K channel where lots of Deltarune is happening. Sayonara for now.